So we're looking at that. And this is, of course, Red Steel. Soviet campaign 42 to 43. So this is just after the Battle of Moscow. We picked this up after the Red Star campaign, which is leading up to this, obviously. So let's launch this. Yeah. Okay. Despite the losses of the summer of 1941, the Red Army has managed to stop the enemy at Moscow. Now it is preparing for several large winter offensives to throw back the invaders. Oh, and also just a note, I'm officially playing a beta for the scenario. So things, I believe this is a very stable beta and all that, but things are subject to change. Okay, so we're going to set up for a counteroffensive. The sort of famous winter counteroffensive. And one of the things that Panzer Corps will, and we gotta acknowledge its existence, of course, here, and I do like that game also very much. This you can play from other perspectives, the Soviet one here, and it's a much more varied game in that sense. Okay, we have thrown back the enemy from our capital, Comrade. While the Germans are in disarray, you are ordered to continue your advance to keep up the momentum. Your force is tasked to join the troops of the south of Kalinin. Sorry, I'm not reading this well, am I? To drive the Wehrmacht further back in the next few days. Meanwhile, the Stedka, that's sort of like the high command, is preparing a series of winter offensives in multiple sectors of the front starting next week. We begin massive offensives at Leningrad, south of Novgorod, and west of Moscow. Similar operations in southern Russia are following soon. But while we're still preparing for those operations, we need to secure key objectives north of Rej, which will act as staging grounds in the Rej-Zama operation. Sorry, I'm butchering that, I'm sure. The first line of the enemy south of Starisa consists mostly of troops severely weakened during the Battle of Moscow. Some of them are still holding the line while others are already in retreat. Neutralize those quickly to prevent them from regrouping and reinforcing again. This should help your initial attacks, but expect more resistance when advancing further. Be especially wary, this is a good tip for this, of enemy attempts to ambush our units in forested areas, so be careful when we drive near trees. Massive airstrikes should greatly help your advance, but do provide sufficient fighter coverage as well for your attack aircraft. While the Luftwaffe has been less active recently, German air squadrons are still in operation in this region. We're going to start the game. We're not going to go with the custom force. You can completely... hey, Toy Jet! You can completely sort of make, well, at least a lot of the decisions your own, but we're going to go with the mostly historical. Okay. Take all primary objectives, which there's 5 of them. Destroy 20 ground units. Obviously, we need to do that. Destroy 3 enemy tanks or vehicles in 5 turns. Destroy 2 air units in 10 turns as secondary objectives. Due to enemy activity against northern convoys, we have not yet received further British aid. Receiving specialized Atlantic convoy unlocks Hurricane fighters and may refund CP for deployment of British-made tank cores. Okay, so we have 21 unit slots, shall we call them, left undeployed, and 800 points here. So many games, so many different terms for basically the same event. Now we're going to purchase some more, and I think we're going to, and I've played the first couple of turns a few times just to sort of get a little familiar, but I want to make most of this out with you, so I sort of know what I plan on doing here. We're going to put one of the T-34s there. Yes, T-34s are known to be everywhere and in massive numbers. We're going to put the other one here. That leaves us the ability to purchase 3 more good infantry. Here we're not going to do trucks or anything. Put one up here. The conscript may have its uses. Well, it does have its uses. We could say that, yes. But yeah, I think we'll do one in here. And the other one we'll put out here on the ice to swing around here. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move along this sort of axis here as our main thrust. Yes, we're going to push everywhere, but through here is going to be our main push on our main axis. Yes, no, we don't yet have a release date. I was told last week that this game was going to be available for pre-release or pre-sales. Today, they may still be working on getting that turned on live, and that would probably give us the release date. Okay, we have 2 leaders, Gregory Zhukov and Mikhail, Katukov. Katukov was sort of in charge of the Soviet armor forces eventually, I think eventually by the end of the war. He had just been the main guy facing Guderian in the Battle of Moscow. Yeah, let's give him here, and we're gonna put Zhukov up here, which of course we remember him was sort of winning his first fame, Zhukov, in the Battle of Khalkhin Gol, which we saw earlier with Red Star DLC. And again, everybody who's watching, know that Order of Battle is a free-to-play game. I think the training scenarios and at least the first mission of each of the DLCs is free, like that. So so I'm not sure exactly all, but you download it, play it a bit, see if you get hooked on it, and feel you need to start purchasing it, of course. So that will be our... And yes, we know the objectives. Okay, this is our first turn. We have the initiative here. I think I will. I'm going to turn some of the background audio down a little bit lower. I'm just looking at the sound here. Weather and ambient sounds. Yeah. Okay. I hope that's a little better. I want you guys to be able to both hear me and hear what's going on. Okay, we have aircraft, but we were warned, and we're going to pay heed to the warnings about escorting it. And you can see here, this has a lot more ground attack capability. Okay, Lag 3 is a fighter. Not a lot of range on this, so I guess we're gonna go after Panzer I's. Not much of a tank, true. Okay, they retreated down to there. Maybe we can just completely end them. Get one of the anti-tank guns. Good to know. Well, yeah, we'll do a strafing run on the anti-tank guns, but mostly here to escort the tactical fighter bombers, if you will. You guys move up. Okay. Oh yeah, so we could still buy air. That's a good idea. Thank you. Ayulung? I'm sure I'm butchering that. Sorry. Yes, I wasn't even thinking of that. You're right. Okay. I would rather have more tactical bombers. Sturmovix. They're all 3 and I have 4 points. Don't know that we should do nothing here for on the PE2. Yeah, this is going to be better. So let's deploy them at the airbase there. Thinking where we should use. They have some anti-air there, so that's not the best use. Let's come here. Okay, they've got anti-tank guns, and I didn't know that. So I'm moving the infantry up there. Put some artillery on them. Hit them fairly hard. Drive them back. They can't move to there. Move up through the forest and hopefully, yes, crush these guys. Okay. We have some Nurberwaffers. And more infantry there. No, I still like that I fired on the anti-tank guns. We'll push on these guys here. Now, good, that'll be a bit of help. They're gonna retreat. Just one, so I'm going to leapfrog up with these guys, and now we have anti-tank guns. But this, 47 millimeter? I was expecting a 37 millimeter here. Is this a Czech gun? Don't quite know the APX what that is. Maybe that's the Czech gun. But since we are in a KV-1, we're going to ignore them and hopefully not take any serious damage. Nope, no damage. And they are falling back, and we're going to keep pushing on them. Hey, Frere Oakenshield! Okay, now, that's pushing nicely there. We got our Lucian Dermevic IL. Yeah, let's hit that. You push up the anti-tank guns. Now these are 45 millimeter. A licensed copy from the German Pak 36. Yeah, I know we're going to get that from the Panzerjäger 1, but again, we're in T-34, so I'm not overly worried about that. We do have some light armor here. So that we're moving up there. That is good. Now, yeah, you move through the forest here. You guys come up to here. Come across the ice. He's in a really bad place for a reconnaissance vehicle. Yeah, come onto the icy river there. Now I do know there's troops right there, so I guess we're gonna move to here. They're engineers, okay. Boom. Now, we have some anti-air. They'll move to here. We're going to move these. Oh, these are yaks. Okay, we're going to move. Here, did I forget to fire these guys? Yeah. Should have fired them first, but still pounding on them some there. And these are the MiGs. Do we have some other fighters we can, or bombers that we can escort? I don't think at the moment. Well, I'll sort of stay away from that. So let's come down. Let's come down here and do an airstrike on these guys. Just stay there. Now we have, what are these? PE2s. Start heading up to the front. Okay, is that all? No, they think, okay. For some reason it keeps focusing back on this unit. I don't know why. But we do have these guys to move forward. And these guys. Oh, let's move these AA guns up there. Keep our infantry moving forward. They moved up. They fired? Yeah. Okay. So a pretty solid first turn. Pretty solid. Yeah, it's that. Can't move anymore. Okay, they're firing their artillery back at us. They're trying to escape. With some force left in existence. Okay, some 109s show up. I think those are 109s. And we're escorting, so we take a little damage, but wearing them down some. Okay, well. Looking reasonably good. Again, I know there's somebody there, so we're not going to, like, stupidly bump into them. Oh, Penards. Okay, yeah. Well, let's go back up to the top of the map. Can you please show us what secondary objective reward? Okay. The next turn we'll look at that and see what it is. I will do my best to remember. To cover that, easiest to look at in between the turns. I suspected there would be. These T-60s are light tanks. So a little more worried about them with AA or AT than that. Oh, click the date. Okay. Oh, didn't know that you could click the date and pop this up. I knew this was here. Secondary objectives. Destroyed the 10 turns, and I don't know what, because this is obviously the I don't know, developmental tree, whatever you want to call it. Oh, hello, late arrival. Did you get a release date? Not yet. We're still. Click the question mark. Okay. Oh, okay. +5 RP and 1 specialization point, which I think comes to use up there, and same here for both of those. And these are that if we need to know where, but we already figured out now. Close. No problem. You just let me know anything you want to see, especially if you know how to find it. Because I just sort of, quite honestly, when I play, don't. I mean, I try to achieve the goals, but I don't worry so much about what the rewards are going to be. Because I guess for me, they don't influence if I'm going to try to do them or not. Does that make sense? Okay, do we want to... yeah, let's put some suppression on you. You come here. Attack there. No. Not quite exactly what I want to. Well, that'll work out good. Wanted to free these guys up for advancement to go after that anti-tank gun there. Okay, so now that we're pushing there, these guys can come up to here. They already... okay. They can only get to here. Wow, this is a bad traffic jam. I don't like this. Those anti-tank guns are doing too good of work. Now, what we're going to do is move you to there. Well, it doesn't quite get in range for him, unfortunately. But we're going to focus... he can get to here. Hoping to get both anti-aircraft guns. No, not the Stormovic. MiG-3. The Yak. Now I have this other fighter way up here. The Lag 3. Can it get down to this fight? Yes, it can. Well, almost taken out. Almost doesn't do it, but it's still nice. He's slow. Well. Okay, that looks like it'll work. So we want to push on all of these units that we can. I know he's still there. I think they're T-35s or these... no, 38s, okay. But I'm hopeful that the infantry can take it out. Good. I don't really though want to be lost in the force, so we're going up. More infantry. We were warned about that. Okay, they got pushed in there. Maybe we can remember that, but probably not. I don't have that good a memory. Uh-oh, AA, but not too bad, fortunately. Well, we'll fly you further away from it so we don't need to be hit by it. Now we have the one that we bought here we can take off. They attack, not yet. Okay, good. Okay, Fallschirmjägers. I didn't know there were pairs in this area this time. No, we're not advancing into that spot. And yeah, that looks like a good attack values there. Okay, well. I think I moved most of these. Let's see what would be cancel. Okay, oh, more aircraft. Well, let's see, maybe we'll be successful in actually taking one out. Very good. I do know we can sort of scroll through here like this. Oh, that's helpful. Yes. Okay. We know some infantry moved into that force, so we're going to move you this way. You up here. Next. Otherwise, I'm going to lose some of these people in the snow. Yeah. Okay, that's it. No, continue. Okay. Yeah, he's a bit dangerous. We need to avoid him somewhat. They're fleeing, they're fleeing. They're getting out of our grasp. Well, that hurt a little bit. Okay, so, well, we've killed 4 units so far, and 2 of the 3 tanks. Or other ground units. Well, before I forget, let's... Oh, fully take out another one. Okay. No escape. Retreating German units suffer serious losses under the weight of our attacks. Continue. Yes. Okay, this is a... this... Not just this battle, but the whole greater counter-offensive, the winter counter-offensive, wrecks so much, and I think it is underappreciated how much it destroys the Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht is, or I should say the Heer is the army, but it's also affecting the Air Force as well. Has very limited motor transport generally. It's one commentator or one person said, "Oh, they have plenty of tanks." Well, they had lots of tanks. Now, the U.S. and Soviet Union had more tanks, each of them on their own. But yes, Germany had a lot of tanks. You know, to compare it to places like Japan, Italy. Well, France had a bit more, but obviously they were defeated, and Germany gets hold of a lot of their vehicles. But motor transport, particularly, but also horse transport. I'm not a Russian. I don't know what they traditionally all do during winter, but I know in other parts of the world, in this bout of winter, they bring the horses inside into, you know, stables and keep them, you know, it may take them out a bit during the day, but horses will die in very harsh environments like this. So there may have been not terrible. I'm not going to say that it's in any way good or not bad. It was bad casualties. Casualties in men because they were able to walk out. Yes, winter clothing was scarce, which is also another part of the whole thing. But so much equipment was lost, and a lot of it was just lost because of inadequate antifreeze. They knew what antifreeze was, obviously. A lot of it was just sort of alcohol mixed into the liquid water cooling, make it harder for it to freeze. And so they lost so much equipment because it couldn't retreat. And I think it's underappreciated how difficult it would have been for the Wehrmacht to come back from this. So this is a critical time that we're seeing in the defeat of Germany, with this having to not only, you know, the combat losses, but as sort of showing here this, I guess, but mainly like this is more of a, they've collected all these damaged tanks, and the Russians have, because the Germans are unable to recover damaged equipment, because a lot of vehicles may or may not be how badly these are individually damaged, but they were able to be put back into service in many cases. But obviously if the enemy is capturing the vehicles, they can't. And Heartborn, oh, can you narrate what you're doing just so new players can understand a bit? Oh, certainly. I'll try to make sure I do more of that. Okay, so we are pushing in, as you can see here, pretty deep, trying to do a bit of encirclement here. Now, we've got a weak German infantry unit here, armored cars. They could attack there. But we're going to bring these guys. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a direct attack on the artillery would be very damaging to the artillery. So we're going to do that and work to cut them off here, though they can cut my troops off pretty easy. We're going to bring up this infantry here, which should get a little bit of a bonus from having the light tanks nearby. They fall back. Very good. Now, yeah, I think we will pursue the armored cars. Take a bit of damage, but that's all right. They're not going to do well. If they can advance here into the bit of woods, that may help a bit for the terrain. You can see forest terrain, but being on the rivers is not normally terribly helpful. We'll bring up these armored cars here, the reconnaissance vehicles. So is this Panzer General on a strategic grand level? Well, as with Panzer General or Panzer Corps, order of battle, I don't know if there's a definable, and I know this rubs some people the wrong way, but we need to acknowledge it, a definable idea of what these units are. Are these platoons, companies, battalions, regiments? Obviously, you know, I would tend to go more like company type strength, but sometimes the way the scenarios are, they will be playing bigger opening things. Just unplugged the audio cable by accident, so I'm going to plug it back in. Here we go. So it's a little bit of elastic on what it's doing, but it's a yeah, I know you're saying tactical, and yeah, just to the map you can look at. Sometimes it gets bigger and smaller, so I can't put a defined size on it. It's, well, I barely scratched the surface of it here with you. They gave me the key to it this Friday, so I've saved most of it for playing with you. Now, if it's going to be anything like Red Star, which was very good, in which I played a bunch of Red Star, that worked quite well, and I liked it a lot. But I quite honestly have not played much of Red Steel. I'm trying to make sure I get making the distinction here between the different versions. Okay, well, we have a tank here. Do we want to... They could take out the anti-tank gun. These guys could come... No, they're going to fight. We're going to drive back here. These are still just light tanks. They're not quite T-34s or main battles. They don't quite have maybe the muscle that other units will have. Okay, they're coming, putting a lot of pressure on here up in the north. Now we do want to try, I'm sort of saving my air for operations down in this area. Where do we have the... I know we have the anti-tank guns there. That will allow me to move these up safely, go after the Stukas. Hey, Van Bishop. I hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, no, Red Star is good. I can, because like I say, I've played a bunch of Red Star. Yeah, I enjoy the Soviet campaign because you're looking at... I play so much, so often, and I like playing campaigns as Germany. But it's nice to get things from the different perspective. So I'm really liking that and enjoying that part of it, that element of it for sure. So now I'm not as familiar with the history, looking at it from the Soviet sides of things, as I am with looking at it from the German side. We're going to come up with our heavy troops here, and oh good, be able to get out of the river into the forest. Now, okay, we did have the 109 around here a while ago. Did it retreat back to somewhere? I think there was still one factor of it left. No, oh damn. The one real thing I dislike about this game, no undo button. You have to keep that in mind. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Kalkin Gull. Looking at that, the history, the what ifs of history from there. Now, we have that anti-aircraft gun, which was damaging last turn to this air unit here, which is going to go home because of that. It's going to keep me from going too near it. With this. Oh good, took that out. Very nice. Now down here, we're going to come down here and you were going to come back up to here and land. Because we're going to do upgrades. You, yeah. Let's move you up. We're creating ourselves a bit of a pocket here. Not a massive one by any means, but definitely pushing it. Now I'm sure there's going to be enemy there, so we're gonna come here, get out of the forest, get Zhukov and his tanks driving. Oh lovely. Okay, well we can't quite detect the Nobel offers, but this looks like to be reasonably effective here. Oh, Pack 38, so they did a little damage to us. We need to get some of this artillery moving forward as well. We're getting out of its range. I'm enjoying the first installment. Variety 3, French, Finnish, Japanese, German. Absolutely. Art of Battle 2 3D. Well, how do I put this in sound? I don't know that 3D adds a lot to some games. Now, the way they did it with Close Combat, it's really, really good. But it's a different game than this. I don't know that a true 3D would be a main reason to just update this. I'm not sure where they quote-unquote should go after this. Let's see what units still have active points. Okay, our bombers, and I need to use the bombers a little more effectively. Well, they have some Butte Panzers, or however you pronounce it, captured. T-34s down here. Let's use our fighters to take out the Stukas. This is the illusion. Here we go. Here are the rest of our fighters. Well, my friends, the Stukas, which are about ready to fall out of the sky. Wow, they didn't fall out of the sky. Well, I don't know what perfection means, but yeah, it's very good. Hello, Unknown. Yes, and like what Unknown is getting there is some of the games, if you look back at the graphics from the, early days, oh yeah, I haven't wanted to move them up onto the bridge. We have this bomber. And artillery, a strike at the artillery looks like it'd be fun. They have that one anti-aircraft strength unit there, but that is not much of a concern. I mean, they might make it come off there. And so graphics updates is definitely a thing. Yeah, Wargame needs counter. Well, Wargame can be an elastic term. I do get you with that, and after a fashion, I agree, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't know. I would definitely go, which I've been, something like Axis and Allies. That's not really a war game. I don't want to go so far as to say this is not, but I get what you're meaning. Yeah, 3D may, if done, I'm not against the idea. It's just how well they do it. And I can see, the need for an update coming at some point, absolutely. But I'm still thinking that this is a good game, just the way it is. And I would rather have, now a year or two from now is a different matter, but right now I would rather have more content than just simply update what we're currently seeing to, fancier graphics. That was a bit of an ouch, but you're not going to like it ultimately. Uh-oh, what are these? 109 or 110s? And we're also getting, there comes the 1 strength air unit back. Okay. But we got our 1, destroy 2 air units in 10 turns. Well, let's destroy two air units this turn. Okay, first, since we're focusing on that, no, we're not going to get you close enough, and we're not going to get you close enough, so let's not really worry about that. You come way back over here. There we go, 1 air unit down. We'll move the yaks over here. Okay, air duels. Thanks to reduced Luftwaffe presence, our pilots have managed to quickly gain local air superiority. Good. And we also have Commander enlisted Lev Kozakhenov. Don't know who he is. Probably really famous, but I don't know him. Okay. Well, where are our Aleutian IL-2s? No, over here. Yeah, I'm not sure whether he's best. Oh, he's no, it looks like he's against aircraft, small, large. Okay, no, he's a better fighter. So let's put him in the lag here. Yeah, BF 110. Well, I'm not thinking of good stuff right now to say for more content. I don't have something right in mind at the moment, but I would rather look at more campaigns. Yeah, okay, that's a lot of hours, man, Bishop. Yeah, I agree that the lack of consistency for the scale of action would be better for developing the scenarios. Yeah, well, that's the early Soviet stuff is in Red Star. I mean, it's just really sort of the Kulkin Gall um, area stuff that they're looking at would be good there. I was playing recently some of the Burma Road scenarios for this, and that was it was the Malaya campaign area, and that was fun to do. I was enjoying that. And sort of taking on Van Bishop's point, what I would probably want to do is take this war game and fix it a bit more to a scale, whether you want to go company or platoon, I don't know which, and try to build scenarios based on that and stick to it. So you would maybe go over some of the same, whether it's, Soviets versus Japan, or whether it's the invasion of France, by Germany, but stick to a more fixed size, because there are places for a real-time game like Close Combat, but there are also places for a hex-based, turn-based game. And this could find a good niche in that turn-based game and keep it for what it is, but keep it a little bit more locked to scale. So I guess that's maybe where I would take it, but that's just me as a player of this. I'm nothing more than that, and just presenting it to you. And so keep basically these mechanics, which correspond to a tank, X or Y artillery. Yeah, so it makes a little more defined sense, because you can set up a miniature war game in which a tank equals a tank, so it's either driving, tracked, or destroyed. It's either operating, tracked, or destroyed, and that, or otherwise it's fine. But this is a unit with different strengths, so you wear it down with losses. You can put in reinforcements into the units and that type of thing. And so that all works, and that can work really well. Right. Well, we've been bringing... Where are you? Well, our big PE2. There we are. Thinking, can we get you up to... I want to push here a bit more. Well, we can get you to here, I guess. Now, they can come to here. They can get to here. We're going to move them out of the way. The Germans are well dug in there. These are just conscripts, so they're not going to fight well at all. Okay, we're going to put pressure on this unit here. Because this game does have, I would say, a lot of potential for development in that type of manner. So yeah, that's the type of thing that I would do. Now we have our... Did the Yaks move? I guess they did. Did the Yaks move this turn? They must have. I forget what they attacked then. Well, We're going to see about retaking the air base. And the tank unit's gone. Very good. Okay, yes, they've temporarily cut this unit off, but that is just a temporary thing. Coming up to here, mainly to keep them out of range of that AA gun. That was painful. We're going to keep him here and... Okay, well... Recon units can't take territory, but they can survive, cut off, if you will, from your own supplies. I'm sure some of you must have played the first game that Sniper Elite series really did, which was... was run-of-the-mill third-person shooter. Okay, now we know there's Germans here in the town. I'm just really sort of wondering, do I keep pushing this way with the army unit, or do we... Okay, I think we're going to try to slaughter them. Okay, they fell back. Yeah, just so that we're getting in supply. Keep pushing on them. I don't want to forget about this back here. Now we have, before we forget, these guys that we want to, yeah, we've got the money to, or the points to fully upgrade them now. Here, no, that's just too good for them. Well, I guess this is probably the best way to see what we have left to do. Okay. You're too far back. You come up to there. You take on the AT guns straight on. They're no longer supporting these T-34s that are weaker in size. And on the icy bridge, you come up to here, but these are conscripts versus good Germans, even though they're weaker, but they're dug in, so we're going to let them stay right where they are. You come up to there. Well, let's do the old... Oh, we can... that's in range. Well, yeah, let's try that. I guess we might as well. Okay. Maybe hit from that. Well, we'll weaken these guys over here, hopefully some. Oh, no. Nope. Yeah, okay, we'll push through the woods. It's just a single strength unit. But I'm not going to go in contact with that building while in the woods and the tanks. Oh, down here, yes. Yeah, we want to take out the anti-air so we can use our air more effectively. Didn't quite take them out like I was hoping. And... yeah, yeah. Another unit gone. Okay, that's good for this turn. Play with the friends, Sniper Elite 3 felt like... Yeah, quite honestly, I have not played Sniper Elite, so I can't quite comment on it. I played a bunch of first-person shooters, but not that one. I love World War II first-person shooters, they're great. Okay, you're trying to attack our airbase guards, push them out, but we got more forces to follow in there. Okay, so we're getting our objectives, got all the secondaries done. Let's come down here and think about what we're doing. They'll just stay right where they are. These guys will come here. No, we don't want to occupy that hex, so that gets to stay right where it is. These guys go after the artillery directly. And boom. That's taken down. Now, here again, we know they're in the town, so we'll put some pressure there. Now here we will, before we forget, let's take these guys off. Now you have enemy. You've seen? Oh, I've seen the movie. Yes, absolutely. Enemy at the gates. Hey, Pinfoid. Yeah, no, I quite honestly, I have not played all of the first-person shooters out there, but yeah, I've seen some of the I've seen the better movies. Yeah, let's strike at the town, bomb it, come off. The town is our major focus at the moment. You're just going to get reinforced. Just trying to think which human wave unit tactic we should use for Soviet conscripts come in there. That's not improving things much. So, okay, there's some real Soviet infantry. So you guys come to here. You move up to here. Okay, that's going to be facing much better. There we go. Desperate defense in the village or town or whatever. Now circle around. Completely surrounded on all sides. They still hold out. Okay. Well, they're fighting hard. Not having played. Yeah, oh god, there's more than I could have played. Okay, now we're going to ignore this town here for the moment. Well, in the sense that we're not going to worry about storming it. This is going to be a bit more of our focus here. Conscripts, okay. The Soviet infantry will do a bit better. Okay, Panzer IIs. You're falling into our trap. Let's see what airstrikes we can do. We have, okay, 1 strength. Oh. God damn it, we don't have... I wish I had an undo button, because that was a misclick. Oh, hell. Don't do another misclick. Okay, they're just gone. Good, that's what I wanted to have happen. No, they just took off this turn. Now we can strike at multiple targets effectively. So let's see if we can end these. I'm calling them Butte Panzers, but whatever they're, however you pronounce that. Keep pursuing. We're just sort of thinking of this as more of a pocketing exercise here, coming down there. Okay. There we go. Fully pocketed there. Yeah, they fired. Well, they did good work shutting all this down here, so we're gonna shift them back up. Close combat. You should, if you haven't, Penfold, look at the new Bloody First as Aphonoid. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Says it's really good. It's updated. It's 3D maps, all that good stuff. Okay, they did fire. Okay, so they're completely surrounded. These guys, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have attacked. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit painful with no real, yeah. No, they held out well. We'll bring the artillery to bear. Fine. Yeah, Soviet meat shields, the conscripts, absolutely. Rust between hex games and close combat instead of die roll on combat. Minute battle. There's games out there that sort of kind of meet that somewhat. You have like Gary Grigsby's War in the East, War in the West, and the Pacific War. I would say that that is... Yeah, let's keep the pressure up. Oh yes, Call of Duty 2. Well, a few years ago I replayed some of it. No, we're just gonna wait on that now that you're trapped. But you guys, let's see. Yeah, we're bringing you back this way to help take that down. No. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, you kept that out of my way until you decide to jump it up in front of me. Okay, well. Oh, it is a lot of detail, a lot of attention to the game. You need to do with that. So most assuredly, I've only actually played War in the East, not fully even, but it's sort of to some degree. Now I get maybe the idea that you're also saying a game in which you move a division's counter into a hex or province or something, and then tactically fight it out with the other units that are there. Yeah, that's just a lot of complication. Hearts of Iron 4, that's hard to get in, but damn good game. Well, yeah, Hearts of Iron 4 has its problems. Of the Hearts of Iron series, I prefer 3 over 4, though I play both. Continue, yes. Nurgle buffers and artillery on my KV-1s that just sort of suppressed them a bit. Yeah, they're definitely pushing a lot of fantasy alternatives, and they definitely say that they're not a sim. In an online sense, I know some of the developers. Just like say on an online way for that game. Oh, we're getting Stugs, it looks like, coming up. Put in the artillery roll. Aircraft is back. HE-111s, I believe. Yeah, I would have to agree, Van Bishop. If that's the type of game you're looking for, most assuredly, I agree with that. Okay, well, we have this airport here, so I'm not that worried about running out of fuel, and they'll normally get the red area, you know, you can only go to this until you run out of fuel. So we're going to concentrate our fighters on the 111. That's not a fighter. Let's not do too many misclicks now when it comes to air or anything. I think we have one more fighter. Yeah. The new Panzer Corps is a good game as well. Okay, I don't think we need to air assault whatever city or town that is. Let's see. Oh, this looks like a good artillery or air objectives. This artillery down here. Okay. A little bit of suppression there. Okay, these are all... Okay, they're regular infantry. Good, that'll deal with them, probably. You take that. We're going to fire you on these infantry here. I'm going with the advanced up all their local infantry here. They attacked. They haven't. They haven't either. Oh, yeah, if you're looking at more strategic level stuff, both Strategic Command and War Plan, as you probably know, I played a lot of both of those, and I'm currently playing War Plan on my channel, my YouTube channel, and I'm currently playing Strategic Command World War I on my channel as well. So yeah, played lots of those and like them immensely. Okay, conscripts. Now we still have this town here, but I want to deal with all these units first. Well, maybe we want to deal with... Oh, we have a heavy infantryman. That's probably why that we got a commander there. They're doing a bit better. Now we want to use this airplane if we can get them there. No, we can't. Okay, but we'll come to here. You're doomed. You're doomed. Surrender while you still can. We have a nice gulag for everyone who wants to surrender to spend at least the rest of the war plus another 10 years in, so... Just surrender. You'll like gulag life. Okay, you come here. Yeah, pursue him. Yeah, he's out of... supply, there we go. Now, yeah, we don't want them to be reinforced, so we'll take them out now. These days, as they went from trying to have a reasonably historical game, yeah, I would agree with you about what's the direction the Paradox has gone in. Like I say, in an online sense, I have a relationship with many of those people as well. I don't necessarily like the direction they're going with some of the stuff, but it seems to be popular with their player base, so yeah. Yeah, you have to mix scripted events versus, and you know, how to script events is as much an issue as simply not or having them or not having them. And yes, I have a fair amount of experience with some of that myself. Okay, you come to here. This way, you can come up to here. Yeah. DLCs, the right mods, all of that stuff definitely helps. I'll leave you right where you're at. Well, we'll just put some pressure on you. Okay, what haven't we moved? Anti-air, really don't care about moving it. Okay, yeah. I think I was... No, well, I already made the choice. Can't back out of it now. Definitely was thinking of him. Nope, you're just gonna sit there and refuel. Oh, where is our 110? It went somewhere. Well, you can advance there. I don't really want to go too offensive with you. Okay, let's end the turn. Yes, continue. Panzer IVs, it looks like. Or are they 3s? Okay, well, we've got our 20 ground units destroyed. Let's see if we can get the rest of our... come up that way. Okay, see if you can end them. Yay! We got rid of those guys. Good. There's Panzer IV. Panzer forward, eh? Or Panzer IV versus Panzer IV. Yeah. Yeah, players, freedom. Yes, we're here definitely to talk about and show off Order of Battle, and it's a really good game. We can discuss whether it's a war game in a classical sense or just a good game, but either way, it's definitely a good game. What something like War in the East or War in the West is very, I would call, well scripted and well designed to do the historical orders of battle. Now, of course, as a campaign continues, you can have less casualties or whatnot, but it's looking at one front. Where if you go to something like War Plan or Strategic Command or Hearts of Iron, you have, well, you know, do you want to focus on the Mediterranean in any of those games in 1941 instead of going after the Soviet Union? Or do you want to produce more trucks and, I don't know, less submarines, and so that you have a more motorized army? So you have a bit more freedom of the what ifs, and I like that